and welcome to Grey County Life at Home. This week, I'm one of your hosts, Rhonda Brown, and we have the wonderful Mary Jane Murray here with us as well, and of course, Charlie Brown to keep it light and easy. Although some days not so much, right, Mary Jane?
Well, it depends on what kind of mischief Charlie's been getting into, but other than that, it's always a delight.
You know, some days he just races out into the yard and I can't get him to come back. And then other days he sits and stays. So I don't know what, doesn't appear to be a rhyme or reason to his behavior, but I sure do love him.
Oh. Yeah. Well, that's the main thing. That's
so this week, Mary Jane, I got to go down to Toronto. The goal was because Emerson was going to see a Slipknot concert. So I don't know if you've heard of these guys, but gee whiz, what a bunch of characters going into that show. It was very, very interesting. But while he did that, I got to go see the Van Gogh immersive exhibit. Or I don't know if I said that right. Maybe it's the immersive Van Gogh exhibit. But wow, it was really, really quite spectacular. You know, it's lights and it's like a gymnasium with the artwork of Van Gogh on all four walls and the floor, and beautiful music, and you just sit and absorb and watch, and it's a loop of about 40 minutes, but it was really, really quite lovely, and I got to do that with one of my very best friends, Sue, so it was quite nice.
Oh, that's wonderful. I've heard so much about that immersion experience. That would have been really spectacular.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Of course, Emerson thought it was rather dry compared to the concert he went to when we compared a bit of the video takes that we took. But yeah, it was fun was had by all, although I have to say getting home at 2:00 in the morning was not pleasant. You know, as an older person, that does not sit well with the body these days. You know, even if, you know, I'm getting used to broken sleep at times, but gee whiz, that was challenging. Yeah. But it was lots of fun. And, you know, it just reminds me of the things that we can go out and do that lift our spirits and feel good and put a smile on our face, and just spending time with the people that we enjoy. You know, it's we've had a lot taken away from us in the last few years, and it's nice to be able to go and do that sort of thing. And with our new one card from the library.
Well, yes, and we'll be talking about that coming up later in the show, but today marks June the 1st, and today this is the date that we're filming this show, June 1st. And June is a busy month, lots going on, but it is also National Indigenous History Month. And on Thursday, June the 9th at 7:00, out at Cape Croker Park, there's going to be an event there. So please check that out. Hopefully it's a lovely evening for everyone talking about Indigenous history in our local community. Also today, being June 1st, is the flag raising celebrating Pride Month. And it is wonderful to see how inclusive and embracing our community is. So proud of that. And they raised the flag at 9:00 this morning. Now, there's a lot of local communities who will be holding events and parades for Pride Month. So just check out your local community for dates and times on that. We also have the Art Walk coming to downtown Owen Sound on June 25th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And a lot of artists are going to be out there with their works on display. And we're such an artistic community. This is amazing.
Yeah.
And of course, this time of year, we still have to be careful about the weather because it does change from day to day. And over the past 2 days, it was very hot. If we start to merge into heat waves, there are cooling stations throughout the county and throughout the communities. But in order to get the details for your specific location, it's best to just check out 211, and they will be able to help you with what's available in your community. So here we are in June. We are starting off the summer. Yay!
Yay! Oh, I wanted to tell you too, as a little hint or teaser to our summertime programs with our celebrity chefs, I'll have to tell you, we filmed our first episode last week, and I did the recipe that the chef showed us. I don't know if it's a secret. I guess it's not, Rick. And oh my gosh, Mary Jane, I forgot how much I enjoy cooking. When I sat down and had the meal that I prepared based on what he showed us and how to do it and his little tips and tricks, it was the best barbecued meal that I have made in years. And I'm not exaggerating. It was spectacular. And it just gave me so much joy and reminded me how much I like cooking, even in the summertime on the barbecue.
Well, that is certainly a terrific promotion for our summer show, Celebrity Cooks, with Rogers TV personalities and the Rogers TV team. And Rick Olstead did the first show with his ribs and potatoes and vegetables. And so but it won't air until July. So folks, we really want you to tune in over the summer because we have lots of celebrity cooks coming up through the month of July and August, and with tips. And I made Rick's potatoes.
Oh, did you?
I made Rick's potatoes.
Oh, I tell you, you won't regret watching, and you won't regret using his tips and tricks, because boy, that was just a spectacular meal. So we're looking forward to those summer shows. But right now, we're going to go to commercial. And when we come back, we've got some guests for you on Grey County Life at Home. Be sure to stay tuned.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
The Canadian film and TV industry recognizes it's time to build a better workforce, which includes more opportunities for Black, Indigenous, and persons of color. HireBIPOC.com is here to help make this happen. Whether you're already in the business, trying to get a start, or in a position to hire, HireBIPOC.com could connect you to the right people. From script to development, production to post, distribution to marketing. Check out HireBIPOC.com now and help build a stronger industry together.
Focus better.
Partner better.
Sleep better.
Breathe better.
Love better. Work better. Friend better. Unwind better.
Everything gets better when you get active.
Welcome back to Grey County Life at Home. I'm one of your hosts, Rhonda Brown, with the wonderful Mary Jane Murray. And we have a guest who I always enjoy seeing, and I think a lot of people know this face and that wonderful mustache as well. Hi, John. How are you today?
Doing great. Thanks so much for having me on.
Did you want to introduce Mary Jane?
Well, yes, John Farmer is a board member with the Roselawn Bowling Club. And Rhonda and I had such a good time a few years ago when we were out at the site location. And I just wanted to mention, John, too, that I had never known that it existed prior to the invitation to go. And it's located at 1555 Fifth Ave West. And all the years I'd lived in Owen Sound, had never been in that neighborhood before. So it was quite a challenge for me to find it. But what a gem, right in the middle of your neighborhood. So tell us more about the club.
So the Owen Sound Roselawn Bowling Club has been tucked away in the historic community of Brook, which is just north of the corner. If you're, for anyone who's not quite sure where Fifth Ave West is, if you're driving from the Legion past the Salvation Army, hang a right at those lights, you cross a little bridge, and there's a ball diamond just there. That's Harrison Field, not Harrison Park. And we're just one block over from that. And the club has been there since 1920. We were all set to celebrate our centennial anniversary, and then the pandemic happened, but we are opening things up with our pre-pandemic normal for gameplay this year. Lawn bowling itself is really like a combination of bocce and curling, and I know that we were lucky enough to have one of your camera folks come down to film a little bit just the other night at the club. You're rolling these bowls. They're not actually balls. They're not spherical. You're rolling them down a carefully cultivated green to try to get closest to a little white ball. That's called the jack. And the club has been there and having fun with folks lawn bowling for more than a century now. And we're still going. We're going strong because lawn bowling is fun. But like Mary Jane said, not everybody knows that it's there. We're trying right now to really spread the word and get more people out and involved, especially as the pandemic restrictions have mostly lifted here and the summer is upon us. It's a really fun, active, social, kind of no pressure kind of sport. It's accessible. I started when I was 8 years old. My grandmother ran the youth program in Owen Sound, and so that's how I was introduced to it. And I was bowling with a couple of guys just the other night who are turning 90 this November. So it's really an accessible game from like 8 to 98. I'm sure 108, depending on who you are. If happy to have anyone who's 108 come out, but you don't have to be. It's really accessible. It's really fun, and you can be. It's really quick to learn. Like many things, quick to learn, but it can take a long time to get really good at. It amazes me. People who I could outrun very easily always seem to get the final point and final shot on me. So it's fun that way. Do we have that demonstration video there? Did we roll that? And I can talk a little bit about just about the mechanics of the game. So with lawn bowling, you'll see there, we stand on a little mat and we roll the ball down across the green. The nice thing about the sport too is that you're outside and it's beautiful. It's summery weather. We don't play in the rain. It's weather dependent. And the balls curve in one direction or another. So, and that way it's like curling. They don't roll in a straight line. You bump into other balls as you go. The little white ball can move around. So that shot that you thought was awful, someone else can bump into it and then you've got the points at the end. And it's just a great game. I really like it a lot, which is probably why I'm promoting it and on the board and all that. And in the other thing that we've done over the past few years to make it more accessible is we've gotten some equipment so that if you would like to play, but maybe you can't quite bend down, we've got lifters to help lift the bowl up, and lots of people use those. We've also got little pushers that make it a little more like shuffleboard. So if you can't roll maybe by bending your knees, and there's lots of different ways to do it. You just have to be standing on the mat when you deliver the ball. But there are lots of ways to get involved. Unfortunately, the greens are not wheelchair accessible, but for people who otherwise have a range of mobility that allow you to stand, it's accessible that way.
Well, it sounds to me like you're trying to make it very inclusive as best you can with the arrangement that you have for the field. And I think that I love the story about starting off when you were 8 and cultivating that love of the game all the way through your life, because what we found when we were there was the socialization aspect, the really welcoming and friendly manner of folks who've been there forever, and how helpful they were for Rhonda and I, who were totally inexperienced.
Yeah, and everything is provided. We've got folks there to show some instruction. All you need to bring are flat-soled shoes. The bowls are there, all the materials are there. And for people who are dropping in the first time in June, we were lucky enough to get some grant funding through Participation and the Community Better Challenge, which is a national effort to get people out and active and involved, because being physically active makes life better in so many ways. So for people who are dropping in to try the game for the first time in June, we're entering their names into a draw, and we will be giving away a first-year membership. A first-year membership at the club is just $100. Returning memberships are $150, and you can bowl up to the 4 days a week when we bowl. So we're there on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday evenings. Folks show up between 6:30 and 6:45. We make teams with whoever shows up, so it's not like you join the club and you have to be there every day, or you have to be there on the same day a week all the time. It's just drop in. It's house league. We make teams up so that there's a real variety of skills. I see that we've got that drone footage there. And it's just a lovely place to be. We've also, to kind of invite people into the game, we're running a couple of open houses on Saturday, June the 4th, and on Saturday, June the 11th, from noon to 4 p.m. People can just drop in, find out where we are, roll a few bowls, get used to the game. And again, we'll enter your name into a draw for a first-year membership if you've not been a member before.
That is fantastic. I wanted to ask John, you said 4 days a week, or 4 opportunities a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday.
Oh, Thursday evening and Wednesday morning.
Wednesday morning.
Yeah, and Wednesday mornings, people show up between 9:30 and 9:45. Again, they make up the teams and they bowl that way. For daytime bowling, we do recommend sun protection and hats and that, because you're bowling on a bright sunny day. And in the evening, the same thing can be helpful, although you see great sunsets from the club.
Wow.
The other thing too, as you were mentioning the membership, and you've got a scale of costs for the membership for different areas. Can you just review that?
Yeah, so for people who are young, like youth, we've got a youth membership that's just $55 for the season. A first-year membership is $100, and a returning membership is $150, which is only a couple of golf games, but you can lawn bowl for far more frequently for that amount of money. Our season starts in May, so we opened up after the May long weekend, and we run through until it's too cold or rainy in the fall. So sometimes that means late September. Sometimes we get that long, drawn out, summery kind of fall. And in that case, we can be bowling right through to October. And we've got lights on the green, so when the days are shorter, we can turn those on and just keep bowling.
Wow.
It sounds like you're trying to grow your membership. And so you should put incentives forward to increase your membership, but what is your membership like now in terms of age range?
I'm probably one of the youngest there in my early 30s. Before the pandemic, we had folks who were in town as college students and a handful of brothers who all joined together in their late teens and early 20s. It really ranges from kind of the 20s all the way up to, like I said, late 80s and 90s, and a spread there. Kind of most people would be in their 40s through to 80s there, which is I acknowledge, quite a considerable spread. But that's the nice thing about the game. It's really accessible for wherever you are in that life spectrum. And because it's a member-driven club, we hang out and we socialize afterwards. So folks sit around and chat when the games are done. We tend to mix up teams and games. And it's the funny thing about membership. We find that if one person in a group of friends realizes how fun it is and brings other people, word of mouth is by far the main driver of our membership, like it is for any kind of I think most organizations, it's knowing people who are there, who are having fun, and who realize, hey, you're my friend, you're my neighbor, you might have fun with this too. Come give it a try. And that's why we're really just trying to get people in through the door. We know that once they try it, the odds are they're really going to like it and want to come back.
Well, to me, you've got all the best qualities of these games, and you're outside. You know, I've done bowling and I've done curling, and I love both of them, but this is like a summertime one, outside, social. I love the idea of it being flexible about which night you come out, and that you don't have to have your set team. You just go and you play. I think that's spectacular. Very smart on your part.
One of the things about lawn bowling is people think about lawn bowling, and I was at the farmers market last week, and we were trying to promote the club, and people said, oh, my great aunt lawn bowled, or my grandparents or my parents lawn bowled. And then they tell stories about them wearing like all white and fancy hats and spiffed up shoes. We're not that formal anymore. There's a real movement around the world towards something called Barefoot Balls, which is just a lot more casual. When the weather's good, I don't wear shoes. You don't have to feel like there are those barriers. You've got to show up wearing all white and a tie. It's a lot more welcoming, and we're really working to make the game a lot more inclusive.
Well, one of the things I like about it is the fact that there's such a variety of age ranges, particularly if you're new to our community and you're not sure what kind of groups you want to mix with, or if you think that lawn bowling is only for older people and yet you've got a group of young 20s, 30s, particularly if you're looking to socialize and just kind of get out and meet new people, this is a really great opportunity to become engaged in the community in kind of a low-key way, test everything out. But you also get to meet age range, and you're going to find somebody in there that's the same age as you are.
And I think too, it's worth highlighting that hanging out with people from different generations is really good for folks' health, mental health, social health, and connection. The last night that I was bowling, my dad was in town, so I brought him. One of the other board members, her daughter and 8-month-old grandson were there, and so we made the teams up. So it was me and my dad against her and her daughter. The 8-month-old did not bowl, but his mom was holding him and bowling, and afterwards we hung out and chatted, my dad and I, with some of the older members who were there, who are in their 70s or 80s, and it's really good for people to get out of our maybe more confined social bubbles. That's why, I could rant about this for a while, but that's why you'll often see daycares or preschools hosted in seniors' residences and things like that, because it's good for us. We're supposed to interact and mix. And I think that if we can get over that social construction that I've got to hang out with people who are within 5 years of my own age, otherwise I won't be able to relate to them. That's just not true. We're human beings. We can connect, we can have fun, we can laugh. I can tease the 89-year-old, he can tease me. That's what community is made of. And we really find that at the Lawnbowling Club, and we invite people to join us and to experience that as well.
Well, we are welcoming newcomers into our community all the time in various waves of folks who are migrating north to Owen Sound. And I think this is an activity where you don't have to bring a lot of skill to it, but you can bring a lot of smiles and a lot of fun to it.
Yeah, it's important that human beings play, and it's a really accessible way to play in all the ways that we use that word, right? It's fun, it's laughter. It's not a kind of thing where you're worried about who's going to win the trophy at the end of the year. It's just a chance to get out and do something because it's fun.
Yeah, I think that's fabulous. I wanted to ask, John, do they have vending machines there? Do people bring their own drinks or snacks and things like that with the social element or anything like that?
Yeah, we've got water on site. We're working to build out. COVID was not friendly to bringing things to share. We're getting past that now. And because it is a member-driven club, you can bring your own snacks, bring your own drinks, and we hang out. There's someone who used to bring cookies, and I'm really hoping she's going to bring those cookies back again now that we can do that. Hasn't happened yet, but it's that kind of thing. And we're trying to foster that environment where people bring stuff to share. And you made muffins, bring muffins. You made cookies, bring cookies. You had that, I don't know, extra large bag of party mix from the grocery store, bring that along. And we do have water on site, but otherwise it's bring what you would like for yourself and bring what you would like to share.
Awesome.
I should say too that for our open houses, with some of that funding from Participaction, we will have some fruit and muffins and things like that for the Saturday open houses on June 4th and June 11th.
And that are those, is there a rain date in case we have inclement weather, or are those just the two stagnant dates?
Those are the two stagnant dates, but that is why we schedule two of them back to back. June 4th is National Bowls Day, so that's a one that we try to hit every year. And whether or not we are there, people can drop into any of our regular bowling. So again, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday nights, show up around 6:30 if you haven't arrived before, and Wednesday mornings come around 9:30. And again, just to encourage folks, come try it. We'll put your name into a draw. You could win a free membership for a game that you didn't know that you love.
Yeah.
I just want to check with you about the Wednesday. It says Wednesday morning. Is that just till noon, or is it all day?
Just kind of till noon, and sometimes before that if the weather's really hot and people end early. Because it's so casual, we drop in, we play as many games as people want to play, and folks wrap up when they decide that they're done.
How long does a game typically take?
We play ends back and forth. We'll often play 6 ends and then switch to another team for 6 ends. Sometimes we'll just play one long game that's like 12 or 14. You could play as many ends as you want to, but generally it's between kind of 6 and 14 in our regular bowling nights, depending on how nice the weather is and whether the other night the baby had to get home to go to sleep, so we ended our game a little bit early, and the rinks beside us just kept playing because they were having a great time and the weather was nice, so they played until they were tired.
Well, John, we look forward to seeing you down at the Roselawn lawn bowling facility for your open houses. Thanks so much for coming today.
More info on our website and more info on Facebook.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, John.
Treaty in Cree is Nascomitoin, an oral agreement. And our agreements were always spoken. For George Spence, the core of treaty was Wichihioin, to help one another.
And so we, the commissioners...
He was there for the making of Treaty 9, where the Cree were told...
We will honor this agreement together, for as long as the sun shines and the waters flow.
The Cree made their mark because they were assured that the land would be shared, and they would always be able to harvest what they needed. George Spence was my great-grandfather. In his life, he saw many promises of the treaty go unfulfilled.
Treaties were essential to the creation of Canada. First Nations still fight for the agreements to be honored.
October 5th, 2014, my daughter was hit by a train. She was walking along the sides of the tracks, and it shattered her world.
Are you the type who would keep going or stop? It's not easy to stop when you have an addiction. Legalizing cannabis won't stop addiction. It trivializes its consumption. Let's be vigilant. If you need help, visit portage.ca.
Welcome back to Grey County Life at Home with Rhonda Brown and Mary Jane Murray. And once again, we always have some really special favorite guests. And we've got the library again. This is one of our favorite locations. It's the hub of the community, and it is so important. And we've got Tim Nicholls-Harrison, who is the chief librarian, and we have Sharon Wagner, who is the information services specialist. And welcome, because there's always so much going on at the library. Just keeps us in tune with the community. So Tim, let's start off with you, and you've got a couple of updates, particularly about this green card that's called Open Card.
Yes, the Open Card. Ta-da! We're so excited. Small demonstration. If you have a current library card and it's up to date, all you have to do is come in and we're going to give you your new Open Card. Same number, everything works the same. If your card is lapsed, we may have to get you a new card. But we're so excited about it. We're excited that now, post-pandemic, that we are open. But the Open Card is actually talking about being open in our community. And we were really fortunate that the organizations, the Billy Bishop, the Marine Rail, Waterfront Museum, and the Tom decided that we could work together, and really we're one membership for our community. So the whole idea is that people can come to the library, they can pick up their card, and now they have free admittance to the museums and art galleries in our community. And it's just fantastic. The cool part is that through the Tom, you also have access to over 100 art galleries across Ontario that you can visit for free as well. So it's a real benefit for our community. We're looking at more ways that we can work together with our partners to support the programming that we're doing and to look at joint programming. But we really want everyone to know we're open. Come on in and see us. Pick up your card or get a card. Cards are available for everyone living in Georgian Bluffs, Owen Sound, Chatsworth, and anyone living in the municipality of Meaford that has a Meaford Library card. And if you don't have a Meaford Library card, we can get it for you. So that's a huge area that our Union Library covers. And a lot of people some that maybe have lapsed because of COVID, but a lot of people that may not realize the nature of all of the services and programs we offer.
And that's why you have the name, the Owen Sound and North Grey Union Public Library.
Yeah, it's a very unique concept. Union is part of what the Libraries Act defines the way a library can be structured. And it's not unionized, it's that more than one municipality has agreed to cooperate and deliver services together. And we're really fortunate. We are the largest union library in Ontario, covering both the geographical area and the number of people that we serve.
Well, that's amazing, because it's absolutely essential within our community. Geographically, it can be a bit of a challenge, but to have this network of services where you're actually servicing the larger community, rather than just the city of Owen Sound.
It's interesting because we've been that name for over 25 years now. So sometimes people think about the Owen Sound Library, and it really, we cover a larger area, and come in and see the services that we have now, because we really want to better serve our community, the whole geographical area, and all of the citizens.
Well, the other aspect too is you have this incredible newsletter. So if people are members and they want information about what's going on in the area, as well as locally at the library, to check out the newsletter that's published every month as well, because when you go through it, there's information for all ages and special events, and there's always something new that you're trying to embrace into the library itself, like the Ukulele Club.
And that's one that Sharon has been involved in. We also loan ukuleles now, so people can borrow a ukulele and learn about it as well. And we loan binoculars, and there's radon detection kits, Chromebooks. There's really a wide variety of things that are available that people can borrow from the library as well.
Well, that's great. Coming up quite recently, on June 16th, is the book sale. So Sharon, do you want to tell us more about that?
Sure, yeah. So we decided to start off this year post-COVID with a smaller venue for the book sale. And hopefully that's going to turn into something like a monthly event. So our first one is Thursday, June 16th from 4 o'clock to 8 p.m. in the library auditorium. And I said, it's a much smaller venue. We're going to be just taking over the stage, if anybody's familiar with the auditorium. And we're hoping that because it's going to be smaller and more frequent, it'll fit into the community a little bit better or going forward. We had some concerns, as Tim may want to share, about having a larger space and a lot of people in that space.
Sharon and the volunteers have been doing a fantastic job of looking at how we can rework what has been a traditional event at the library and deal with it in a post-pandemic world. It's been particularly challenging as we reopen all of our services to say, okay, what's the best fit now? And trying to say, we're going to do this great big event and cram everybody in to the space and create a lot of discomfort for staff, volunteers, for the public at large. We weren't as comfortable with it. So we had a number of conversations and came up with a plan that was, why do we have to have one big sale? Let's let the community know that the sales are possible. And this is one type, and I know Sharon will talk about some of the others, but this is the ones that we're going to be able to move forward with our wonderful library volunteers, smaller scale, but being able to make books available in the community again, generate funds to help us get new resources, continue that concept of recycling and conservation that the library has done in the past. And we actually have high hopes that we may, doing it this process, be able to raise more than what we did in our typical fall great sale by having more regular events. And what it means is that instead of, when you come into the library during the great sale, you're seeing all of these books, but it's only really what we get out on the tables, and there's only so much that you're searching anyway. So coming to the smaller sale, there's less out, but each time you come, there'll be new material. So we're really moving forward. We think that's an easier way to return to something that's very important to us and involve the community in the ways that we want to.
Well, it sounds like a really good idea. And Sharon and I have witnessed on a number of occasions the queue, the length of the queue, and the people waiting at the door, like 10, 9, 8, okay, the doors are going to open. And then this swoosh of people coming in. Now it's a better pace.
We're hoping so, yes. And we're asking people to maybe limit their time in the sale to 15, 20 minutes, because there's not going to be as much for them to look at. They'll be able to just walk through the tables, because it's going to be a few tables, some carts, and the back wall, like behind me, filled with some really excellent finds. So we're just asking, bring your own bags, stay for 15, 20 minutes, have a look around. And don't forget, it's going to happen again next month. So there'll be more books, more opportunities to purchase, and help the library fundraise.
Well, I think it's a great idea that you're breaking it down, because I still think that there are people who want to be cautious about.
Absolutely.
So I do want to ask, when they're coming in for the book sale, are they required to wear a mask or not? Like, what is the protocol? Not
currently. As of actually this beginning of this month, June, We had been encouraging masks, and that had been something we had as far as signage. At this point, it is more each person's own discretion. If people feel more comfortable wearing a mask, we do have masks available if they forget one and they want one. But we're just trying to open up, and as people become more comfortable with the changing world. We are going to be having some other pop-up book sales too. And we're going to be at the Hottest Yard Sale this summer. So with books, and we're going to be out in the community. You're going to see information staff and children and youth services staff and our summer students at a number of events all summer around Owen Sound. We're going to be at the Harbor Music Series. We're going to be out at
Harborfest.
Summer Folk and Harborfest. Yes, thank you. Right, me. Harborfest. So we're looking at a number of those opportunities where we may be able to help people get a library card, inform them of library services, share some of the technology that's available for kids depending upon the day, and look at other resources as well, and plug things like our summer reading book club for our summer reading club for children and our summer reading book challenge for adults as well.
Now, just before we came on screen, I was talking to Sharon about June as being Pride Month. And so there is an event coming up, Sharon, in relation to Pride?
Yes, Tim is going to be hosting Joan Beecroft, a local author.
And Sharon will be hosting an event for National Indigenous History Month.
That's true, yeah, that's right.
We'll just keep adding.
Yes, I have Jason W. Johnston from Cape Croker Park. He'll be here on June the 9th in the evening to talk about Cape Croker and the Indigenous community and how amazing they are and the history of the Indigenous community in our area.
Well, I think one of the things about the library is that you do host authors, and you've got a whole slate of authors that are going to be coming up through the year. But I think that for June and for Pride Month, and what is the name of Joan's book?
Oh,
Being Gay and Bruce and Gray.
Yeah, and then 2020 Hindsight, it's a look back at it as well. So she's done 2 books. She's been the editor and collated those stories from local people about their lived experience. And we're really fortunate that she will be talking on June 11th at 2 p.m. It'll be just like a nice chat around the books and some of the stories. And it just helps us to put a little bit of a spotlight on what's happening locally in our community around Pride, but also being able to move forward and have some understanding around the recognition that we need to do, that people in our community have faced many struggles for acceptance and just to be loved in the way that they should be. And if we can do our part to make sure that the community is welcoming for all of us at all times, then that's certainly what the library wants to do.
I think that the same goal can be achieved by having, and I'm sorry, I'm going to get his name wrong, John W.
Oh, Jason W. Johnston. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. So excited about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Putting faces to the names and to the stories. I think that is spectacular because there's a lot of different points of view in our area on both Indigenous and the Pride
community. Yes. Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, it's going to be a busy month as always.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, that's a good thing. That's a really good thing.
So also because the library is all ages are included, you've got a lot of children's programming as well that's going through. So you're going to be having story tents and story time and things like that with for the young babes and the younger children.
Yep.
It's a really busy summer, for sure. Sharon, I'll let you jump back in.
No,
But
that's
one
fine.
of the things I wanted to say was on Saturday, June 25th, definitely come down to the library. There is so much going on. We're going to be doing the art walk with other artist groups in the community. So there's actually a star search where you're looking for a piece of art, a bit of a scavenger hunt all through the downtown. But we're also at the same time launching our TD Summer Reading Book Club. And there's some activities around a collage station and painting. And we're going to have our story walk out in the park across the street with the story that we've chosen for this year. So there's a lot happening that day. There's certainly a lot happening all summer. Take a look at the newsletter. But that's one day that if I was saying, hey, make sure you're out and around in our community, we'd love to see you.
Did we mention the fact that the library is a cooling station in town, but that is during regular business hours, correct?
Yeah, we are. We're a cooling station in that the building's cooler, but we also have two of the water refill stations, so people can come in and get water. And outside, we have our bike repair station. So if you're riding around town and you're hot, come on into the library, fill up your water bottle, relax for a few minutes, and then you can head out somewhere else as well.
Well, we are going to be heading into some hot weather. We always do over the summer months. So it's important that people know in advance that the library is a cooling station and what services are there for them. But that's only during regular business hours.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So also I did check in with Sharon about this, that you're still looking for donations of books.
Yes.
Yep. We are accepting donations. Yeah, absolutely. And you can
I will be dropping down soon with my bag load of donations.
Yeah, and if there's any questions about what we accept, you can just go to our website, and all the information is there on the website. And I just wanted to say as well that we have some fabulous volunteers that have stepped forward to help out with the book sale again. And I just really appreciate their guidance, because this is my first time doing it. So I need a lot of help. So
Sharon,
I really appreciate it.
I have a lot of respect, and I believe that you're going to do a fantastic job.
Thank
and
you.
the sale is going to be very successful. We've got a great community who really supports our library. Yeah,
absolutely.
We're so blessed that way.
Mhm.
Yeah. So thank you so much for coming today and giving us an update on what's happening at our local fabulous library and the new open card. Everybody, go get your card. Oh my goodness. I mean, these are fantastic opportunities for families in our community. Thanks a lot. And we will see you next time on Great
Good to
House
see
Life.
you. Yeah,
Thanks
good
so
to
much.
see you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye now.
Are you a woman experiencing abuse? Do you know a woman experiencing abuse? Help is available any time of day or night. Sheltersafe.ca is an online map that helps you find a women's shelter or transition house that meets your needs so you can live a life free from violence. Sheltersafe.ca. Help is just a click away.
What kind of show do you want to see on Rogers TV? What interests you? Log on to rogerstv.com, fill out a show proposal, and tell us about your segment idea. We want to know what you want to see. Rogers TV, only on Rogers.
Welcome back to Great County Life at Home. It's one of our favorite segments, and in honor of the wonderful weather that we've been having, it's outside. Adorable Adoptables with Miss Renee. Renee, how are you today, and who is this wonderful character? I don't know if it's a lady or not.
Well, it's a Chevy, and he is a male. Here he is. My apologies that the sound is not going to be the best as I am outside, but it was way too hot for me to put this big goof on my lap in a small space and try to keep him happy and keep me happy and all the rest of it. So here we are. Here he is. Here's a good close-up. We've got Todd here hanging on to him to make this even easier for me. Chevy is a 7-year-old lab mastiff mix. He's a big boy, and he's been loving the country life. He is quite comfortable outdoors. And in fact, we'd love to see him go to another farm. Chevy has been raised with other dogs. There he is again. He has been raised with older children. He's had cats around and chickens and cows and all of those things too. So a farm is really what he's best suited for. He is incredibly strong on a leash. Part of the reason we've got Todd here today. Leash work is definitely something he'll need to work on if he's going to be inside. His house training is okay though. He has been house trained. He is used to going in a crate as well. So you can leave him in a crate when you are leaving him for the day if he can't stay outside. Although, to be honest, a nice fenced yard is exactly what he wants, especially in this heat. It is wicked hot. These mastiffs have squashier faces. His is not too bad, but it makes breathing a little more challenging for them. And he's spending a lot of time breathing very heavy, as you can probably hear in my ear.
Yes. Oh, he is beautiful. How much does he weigh, Renee?
Oh my goodness, I'm going to say he's probably an easy 100 pounds. It's kind of hard to tell here because he's not all in this picture, but as you can see, he's about almost to Todd's waist, but he is a solid fella. So we're going to say the height of a lab, but the weight and the head of a mastiff. So there's a lot of weight there. He is brindle and black, which you can kind of see as well. Hello in there. And he is luckily at that age past some of that crazy puppy stuff. As you can see, he's getting tired out now. He's an easygoing, easy to tire out dog, which is nice. He's probably going to spend his morning running around and then his afternoon sleeping, which is exactly what we're hoping for him. I mean, I imagine him on a porch, with a swing and the breeze. I mean, that's exactly what Chevy wants to do. Maybe a Chevy truck in the driveway. I don't know.
Renee, you paint a wonderful picture because I'd love to be sitting on a porch with him too.
Oh my gosh, me too. I am glad that there's a breeze today. I wish I had a swing. It would be perfect. Right, buddy?
No.
There he is.
Now, is he full grown? Is he going to get any bigger?
No, thank goodness, no. He is 7 years of age, so he's all done his growing. Hopefully not any fatter because he's a big boy. Right.
So I do want to check in with you to find out about the parrots. Yeah. Phoenix and Storm. So how are they doing?
They have been adopted, and I'm getting all sorts of fantastic updates. They're loving their new life. Everything is perfect, which is what I love to hear. We're shooting 100%, which is awesome.
That is amazing. So Renee, what can we do for our dogs? I mean, I know like Charlie Brown, I let him outside sometimes and it's not even that hot and he starts the panting, but he'll go sit in the sunshine. But what are some of the signs that we have to watch for in our pets that they're getting a little too much heat?
Absolutely. The panting is a big one. The respiration will change. Instead of regular, slow, easy breaths, which we want to take in the hot weather, their breathing will actually increase. There are things you can purchase to help keep their temperature down when they are outside. A fantastic product that we used to have at the shelter, which I wish we had again, are cooling bandanas that you actually freeze them and then you put them on where the collar sits, hey buddy, and it helps keep their temperatures a little bit cooler. Putting ice cubes in their water bowls. A lot of the dogs will eat ice. It also keeps the water cooler a little longer as well. Dogs love to lick ice cubes. They love to chew on them. Oh, goodness. Additionally, providing a shelter so that they can go to a cool place. We always say that they know best and they'll go there when they think it's time. I mean, the dogs here at the shelter actually have a swimming pool that they can dip their feet in, roll around in, play in if they want to, but if nothing else, they can drink it. We quite often have dogs here who lay right in it. And if you don't have access to something like that, another idea is a cool surface, so make sure they're not laying on pavement. Hot concrete, sand is a good one. Mud is even better. Hose down the backyard before you put them out there. I mean, you're going to get a dirty dog, but what the heck? It's a whole lot of fun and keeps them cool. Beyond that, I mean, an air-conditioned house is the way to go, or a fan. Most importantly is that water source and the ability for them to get away from it. Don't leave them in the hot room of the house without letting them get out. We see often people complaining about crates because the crates are in their living room and their dogs are getting hot. Move it to a cooler area of the house. Absolutely. And make sure that they have access to getting that water for sure. But those bandanas are really cool. I think we got them at Pet Value, but check into that for sure.
Yeah, I think they made those for humans not that long ago too. I remember seeing those. And
absolutely.
Their pads. You know, if I take Charlie for a walk in the summertime and we're walking on the roads and the sidewalks, do I need to be worried about his feet?
Yeah, absolutely. Concrete and especially asphalt, the tar gets super duper hot. The best way to do that is keep them on the grass. And I know we don't like to do that because often it's your neighbor's lawn. But think about planning your walks around shaded areas if you can, or the park areas where there's grass. Or just keep in mind that you got to keep checking. The dog should let you know when that happens, but we can't guarantee that. So just keep an eye when the temperatures go up. The reality is the dog doesn't want to go for a long walk anyway. If it's too hot, maybe a backyard walk is a better idea.
And of course, one of those safety tips is you never leave your dog in a hot car.
Oh gosh, no, don't do it. Not in a hot car, not in a hot room, not anywhere too hot. We don't even want to talk about it anymore. People should know that. And you know, a tip, if you are seeing a dog in a hot car, we have a lot of people who call us. We can certainly deal with those calls, but a faster response is often to call the police, and they don't mind it. Give them a call. They can make things move a lot faster than we can.
Yeah, and people need to not be afraid to, you know, act when you see something like that.
Absolutely. Do not wait on that. They've only got minutes in a hot car.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thanks so much, Renee. We hope you have a fabulous week. We know it's cooling down for the next few days at least, and we hope this big fellow, Chevy, finds a wonderful big backyard to lounge about in. He is gorgeous. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week. Bye, Chevy.
Bye, guys.
Bye for now.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.